So Cameron Brink has well and truly revived her career. Cameron Brink has revived her career. She is now looking like, again, one of the best young bigs in the WNBA. And I'm going to be honest, I don't understand what the Sparks were doing in the offseason. I don't actually understand what they were doing. It didn't make sense at the time. It makes less sense now. Why exactly did the Sparks triple down on wanting to go old by signing Neka and re-signing Hamby? Like, Cam Brink, everyone just assumed they were going to let Azare walk because Cam Brink was going to start. Then Cam Brink to start the year looked like a shell of herself. Cam Brink has been one of the best bench players in the league. Like, better bench players in the league than Cam Brink have been Kennedy and Solon. That's probably what you're looking at. You're probably looking at Kennedy Carter and Janelle Solon as the only bench players that have been better than Cam Brink. I'm trying to think. Maybe Sarah Ashley Barker has a shout. Kennedy's clearly 6th player of the year. And Solon has been better. But Cam Brink's been fantastic. There are glimpses of the player that everybody thought you were going to get with Cam Brink. And on the year, her stats obviously don't look the greatest. But these are her last 3 games. She's averaging like nearly 15 a game. She's averaging like nearly 15 a game through her last 3. And it's not just that she's scoring, it's how she's scoring. So, on the year, 10.3 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, barely an assist, barely over a steal, and only 1.6 blocks per game, which is a shock. Like, if you look at her stats in her rookie year, she was averaging 2.3 blocks per game. Her fouls are still the same. Her fouls are still the same at 4. Like, it's not an ideal situation, but you would hope the block numbers come up and the foul numbers come down at some stage. In her last 3 games, yeah, she fouled out in 24 minutes against the Aces. That's the only flaw, is her fouling. 12, 16, 16. 3, 1, 1. Like, you are looking at a player that, when she is on the floor, since that Indiana game, like, she looked unplayably bad in game 1. She looked unplayably bad in preseason. And then, if you look at the way she's been shooting, like 2 of 3 from 3, 2 of 5, 1 of 2. And what's she shooting at 30-something% from 3? She's shooting 36% from 3. Like, that's what you want. Like, you want the person to be like the idealized, she's going to be the idealized version of Alana Smith. And that's not a bad thing to say that she is the ideal outcome of Alana Smith. Because Alana Smith's was a hell of a player. She's been completely garbage this year. I'm not gonna lie, she's been absolutely awful. But, like, you have to be real. It is one of those things where we've now got a player that is clearly too good to be coming off a bench. For I don't know what reason. Well, I do. They doubled and tripled down on competing now. They're trying to win a title on a team that's not going to win a title. Like, Ariel Atkins is going to have to... Like, this is the worst season of Ariel Atkins' career. Like, if you look at Ariel Atkins' stats for her career, she walked in averaging 11.3 points per game for a contending Washington Mystics team. She then averaged 10.3 points per game for a championship Washington Mystics team. For her career, she's a 36% three-point shooter. She's shooting 21% in the year. She's been awful. Ariel Atkins has been awful. And in the defense of Hamby, Tanaya Latson, I thought was going to be a really good player. She's been horrific. Like, Kate Martin, they're going to be selective when they're playing Kate Martin. Because she's already played 4 of her games. But Kate Martin's a safe pair of hands. Not an incredible player, but a safe pair of hands. I think everybody kind of knows that. Wheeler finally has stopped looking like the worst player in the WNBA the last couple of games. But the problem is, you got Hamby and you got Nneka. I thought Nneka was really, like, and it's a weird one, both of them very rarely play well together. Like, if you look at the game logs of these two players, they're putting up similar points, but it's like Hamby has 14 on bad shooting, Nneka takes over the game. Nneka does, they win against Thing without Nneka. They win against Vegas. Then Hamby has 27 and Nneka has 12. Like, it's one of these things where the two of them very rarely combine for a good game. Like, Nneka starts season off 19-10, Hamby starts it off 12-16 on good shooting. It's one of those things where I don't know if the two of them work together. But Cam Brink should have prioritized Cam. You should have prioritized Cam. The only positive thing is that if you really want to, she's an extremely attractive trade asset right now. Like, could you imagine Cam Brink playing beside somebody like Aaliyah or Aja, or, like, I understand they probably don't have the pieces to trade for her, but could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like, it is like, it's one of those things where she has an unbelievable amount of potential. She's unbelievably good right now at what she is. She's unbelievably good at like what she is, what she does, and like it's going to be one of those things where she's not going to come off the bench. Like, I don't know how much longer she's going to come off the bench and be happy about it, because she's good enough to start. She is absolutely good enough to start for most teams in the WNBA. There are worse teams than her. There are absolutely worse teams, or like worse teams than hers, that will start, like, that she would start for. There are better teams than hers that she would start for. And yeah, it's just a tough one looking at Brink, because I'm like, there is so clearly all the potential and everything people said going into the draft. Would she go 2 in a redraft? No. Would she go 3 in a redraft? No. She would still go ahead of Cardoso. She wouldn't go ahead of Rakia. She wouldn't go ahead of Lacan. She wouldn't go ahead of Angel. I still put her, 5 in a redraft? Yeah, you take her over JC. I don't know if I'd take her over Carla Late. But still, you're taking her 5 or 6 in a redraft. And she's obviously not lived up to the insane hype that she had. But still, even though she hasn't lived up to the insane hype, she's pretty damn good. She is pretty damn good, and still should be a player that, like, is prioritized. She should be a player that's prioritized by an organization. It just doesn't seem like they are in any way. Anyway, yeah, that's the video. See you guys.